everybody in this house loves baked spaghetti. It's a classic spaghetti dish that we put in a casserole and we bake off in the oven, and it gets, I don't know, it just gets more comfort food to it because the flavors meld, and you can cover it in cheese like a casserole. It's absolutely fantastic. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do my classic baked spaghetti recipe, but we're going to double it because I want to make one for dinner tonight and make one for the freezer. This is a fantastic way to start stacking your freezer with freezer meals by just doubling what you do on a regular basis and make one for the freezer. So join me as we make baked spaghetti. Okay, so you're going to need some kind of big skillet because we're going to be putting a lot of meat, a lot of mushrooms, a lot of sauce in here. This is a big Le Creuset saute pan, deep saute pan. Just make sure you get one that has enough capacity. So I got some sausage here. You can use whatever kind of sausage you want. If you want to use chicken sausage, Italian sausage, this is just everyday common sausage from our local store. So we have this in here. We're going to scramble this up. This is 2 pounds now. Ordinarily, I would make this with 1 pound, but since we're doing a freezer and a non-freezer, we're doubling the recipe. So let me get this scrambled up. I have my little scrambler here, and we'll be right back. Okay, it looks like the sausage is just about done. It doesn't have to be 100% done because we still got a lot of cooking left to do on this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this sausage. You could technically throw the other ingredients in here and cook this like 50-60% of the way and throw the other ingredients in here. I don't know, I'm a germaphobe, so I usually cook this and take it out. Okay, so I have 2 medium onions that I'm putting in here. I like a lot of onions in here. You can, if you don't want them in there, just leave them out. And we're just going to saute these up until they're translucent. So I got a whole bunch of mushrooms. This is 24 ounces of mushrooms. I take the stems out, but you don't have to. I sliced it and then cut them in half because these were big mushrooms. So we're going to go ahead and cook these down. Okay, so we're going to add our sausage back in here. Ooh. Yum, yum.
Hey, Miss Amy, is this why we need a big skillet so we don't make a mess?
You're going to make a mess if you don't have a big one. So I've got 2 jars of my favorite pasta sauce. Ah-ha! Oh, boo!
In case you don't have one of those as seen on TV thingies where it's like a ratchet and it just ranks around, dump these guys under hot water also helps.
And
but having an e-boo around also helps.
Having an e-boo around helps. We're going to go ahead and we're going to dump our sauce in here. Woo. And our other sauce in here. We probably won't need to add any salt because this jarred sauce usually has enough. I left the mushroom water in here to thin it out a little bit and to give us some yummy flavor. Mushroom liquid. That water is boiling over there pretty nicely. I can hear it. So I'm going to do the unthinkable. I usually put a little bit of sugar to cut the acidity. If that bothers you, just close your eyes, right? And I'm going to put in a couple of my favorite Italian seasoning. This is Tuscan Sunset from Penzeys. I love this stuff. My favorite combination is this tomato basil from Wegmans and Tuscan Sunset from Penzeys. Of course, we need to take a little sample. Nice. So I have this down on low. I'm just going to put a little bit of a lid on here. I'm going to have a little space here so some of that heat can get out of here. And now let's cook up the pasta while this is cooking. Okay, our sauce is simmering and our pasta water is at a very rolling boil. We salted this and put a little olive oil. You can do as you please on that. You really want to salt it though, because this is the time where you can add the flavor to the pasta. So we have common everyday spaghetti. We're going to be putting 2 pounds in here, 1 pound for each recipe, and since we're doubling, you don't want to break it in half, just put it in here and it will cook down when it softens. Yeah. And as it cooks down, this will drop down all into the water. So you want to cook this according to the package directions to just before the al dente stage. So normally you would cook it al dente. You want to cook it just before that because we are going to be baking the spaghetti. So you don't want to totally cook it all the way. So this package says 11 minutes, so I'm probably going to maybe cook it 9 minutes, give or take. So we'll be back. Okay, so we're just going to drain this pasta. That's what's so great about pasta pots. You just lift this bad boy up, tilt it to the side. Hopefully it won't fall. There we go. So I have a baker here. We're going to make 1 pan for Eric to eat for tonight, and the other pan is going to go into the freezer. We're not going to put the cheese on this because I'll cheese it when we bake it off. So I'm going to give him some sauce. Normally, I would dump the pasta into the sauce, but obviously I don't have a pot that big. So we're just going for this, right? We're just going to stir this up. Probably going to need more sauce. How about that, Boo?
More sauce, please.
I don't like my pasta overly sauced.
Well, this seems to absorb the sauce, so by the time you eat it, you have all the nuggets of goodness.
The nuggets of goodness?
That's what that is. It's really chunky.
I don't like it too saucy. I might actually have extra sauce when all is said and done. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to take this. I'm going to actually just take this and dump the rest of this pasta into here. Oof. This is going to make a big pan of pasta. We might have maybe a little extra sauce for round 2.
One tip is if you don't have a ton of sauce, you can take some of that pasta water and pour it back onto the noodles. That keeps them from drying out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably use all that.
Uh-huh.
We also have dinner for a second night.
Mm-hmm.
I think that looks pretty good.
Looks good to me.
So let me grab some cheese. Okay, so this is going to be Eric's dinner for tonight. I'm going to top it with, I'm not going to top that one with cheese. I'll do that later after I freeze it and ultimately when I bake it off. We are going to sprinkle this. This is just mozzarella. You can use any kind of cheese you want, right? Because it's your baked spaghetti. You want all this cheese, Boo?
Might as well. No cheese left behind, right? Thank you.
And we have a little bit of Parmesan. That can go into the mix, right?
Sure.
So we're going to bake this off at 350 for about 30 minutes. I think I'm going to cover it with foil so this cheese doesn't overcook. And as soon as it's done, we'll be back. These half pans, we got a case of them, so we just use these. But just cover it fully with foil. Make sure that's on really good. We're going to mark it. We're going to put the date. And you can say bake 350 degrees for about 1 hour, approximately. That's so you know how to bake it. Some people wrap the outside with plastic wrap. I'm just going to leave it like this. So this is headed for the freezer, and our other one is in the oven. So when it's done, we'll be back. It just came out of the oven, so let's see what we have. Ooh, that looks like a bucket of cheese there. Look at that. So let me get a plate so I can serve up Eric a nice dinner. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So this is kind of like, it's a casserole, right? So you can just cut it sort of like a piece of lasagna. How big of a piece do you want, Eric?
Well, you know, I am skin and bones here.
Yeah. And we will go ahead and get this baby out of here. So this is what baked spaghetti does. It's quasi casserole-like. Look at that, Boo.
Uh-huh.
Think you can eat that?
Maybe. I'll give it the old college try here.
Okay, come on over. Baked spaghetti. Come on over, Boo.
BYO fork?
Bring your own fork.
Uh-huh.
And your own beer.
Mm-hmm. Well, the meat tastes good. Mm-hmm. Yum, yum. Spaghetti's done. It doesn't taste like it's overdone, so maybe her undercooking it.
Yeah, undercook it a little bit so when you bake it off, it's not like overdone.
No. No.
Tasty enough?
It's hard to say. It's spaghetti. It tastes great. Lots of flavor. The Tuscany stuff adds a little Italian stuff to it. I've never had this much mozzarella cheese, if ever, on pizza. Spaghetti. But yeah, it tastes really good. So I definitely give this a thumbs up here. And if she's going to freeze it and we get to eat this again, woohoo.
Mm-hmm. So cooks, I'm not sure what it is, what the baking sort of brings it all together and, gives you that comfort casserole feel. So this is absolutely fantastic. Link will be down below for the recipe out on my website. You can print it and save it and all that fun stuff. If you like this kind of video, join us on our journey to become better cooks. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll get notified of our uploads. Also, catch me on my Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Amy Learns to Cook. And you can catch me on Pinterest and Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook, and also on Instagram at Cookin' with Amy. So how are you liking that, Eric? He's almost finished the whole plate.
Chef Boyardee. Need a refill.
You want more? I'll give you a little more.
Hey, I'm a growing boy here.
That's true.
Thank you. Yum, yum.
Okay. Be gone.